Hey, everybody, welcome to day 2 of writing. And this week we are still continuing to look at what good sentences are and talk about all the parts that make them good sentences. If you notice, I'm on the front page of a piece of paper again. I have my holes on the left. I have my date at the top next to that right margin. And it is the 10th month, October. The 6th day is when I'm recording this, and the 20th. And I believe that's the same day that you will be working on this, which is Tuesday. I'm actually recording it a little bit earlier. All right, so now I skipped a line underneath my date. I put my one right up against my left red margin, and then I started my sentence. Now, my writing is going to look a little different, but the uppercase letters usually reach the top blue line, and the Y's hang underneath the line, the P's hang underneath the line, and you'll see that. And if you notice, I'm in between the two blue lines, and I can fit a whole sentence on this line. I have proper spacing between my words. I also have my handwriting would be very, very good. This is actually typed, but I look at all of those things when I write. All right, this first sentence is the small fly flew into the sticky web. All right, the very first thing I do is I identify what is my subject. All right, so I think that this whole sentence is about the fly. Well, that's not enough to be the whole subject. That's enough to be a noun because a fly is a creature, so it is a noun. But the and small also describe that fly. So that is my complete subject. Then what I do is I have to ask myself, what's my verb? What is the small fly doing? Well, it is flying, but it is a past tense of fly, and it's flew. So my verb starts right there. All right, that's my verb. The small fly being my subject, flew being my verb. And then in order for me to complete the sentence, I have to ask myself, okay, where did the small fly fly into? When was he doing it? How was he doing it? Where was he doing it? And I really have to ask those questions so that my sentence becomes very, very clear and good. So what I did is I told you where he flew into. And where he flew into was a sticky web. All right. Now, the small fly being my subject, the flew into the sticky web being my predicate. This is my predicate. This is my subject. All right. Then what I do is I go and I think about, did I add an adjective? So I have to identify my nouns. Well, fly is a noun. It's a creature. Web is a thing. All right. Then what I do is I say, well, I could have written this sentence. The fly flew into the web. That is a good sentence. But instead of doing that, I stopped and I identified my nouns. And then what I did was I put an adjective in. I put an adjective to describe that. So small is a size. Sticky is a description of how it feels. All right. Now, the last thing I do with my sentence is I look for the capital letter and I look for the stopping mark. I have to have it. You don't have it, it isn't a sentence. Then the very last thing I do is I read it to somebody. So I go over to mom, dad, my brother, and I say, listen to my great sentence. The small fly flew into the sticky web. Beautiful. One thought, wonderful. I move on. All right. This one has to do with the family drove on the dangerous mountain road. Do you notice that I'm using some of your vocabulary words? Dangerous is going to cause harm to somebody. All right. Now I look at this and I think, okay, who's my subject? The family. What are they doing? What action is that family doing? Well, they're driving. They drove, okay, which is past tense. It happened in the past. Now I'm thinking, okay, they're driving. Where are they driving? Well, they're driving on the dangerous mountain road. All right. Remember that your predicate begins with your verb, begins with the action, and continues your who, what, when, where, why, hows. And then your subject is usually at the beginning of your sentence, and it's the person doing something in your writing or the thing doing something in your writing. Now what I do is I find my nouns. All right. Well, I know family is a noun. It is a thing. It's a group of people. So it's actually people. I also know that road is a noun. It's a thing. It's a place that you drive on. All right. Now, I don't really want to put an adjective before the family. I could have said the small family. All right. But I'm not going to put an adjective before every noun. But what I did is I thought, wow, I maybe could add 2 adjectives to road. It's a dangerous road. It's a mountain road. All right. Then what I do is once I've written everything, I look at my capital letter. I look at my punctuation mark and I go, all right, am I done? Nope. I haven't read it to anybody. The family drove on the dangerous mountain road. Excellent. One thought, wonderful sentence. Because I have a clear subject, the family. I have a clear predicate, drove on the dangerous mountain road. I have put 2 adjectives in to describe the road so that I paint even more of a picture in my reader's mind. All right. Let's go to the next one. The spooky ghost scared everyone. All right. So what is my subject? Well, I think it's the spooky ghost. That's what my whole subject or my whole sentence is about. Okay, what is the spooky ghost doing? He is scaring people, which is another one of your vocabulary words. So he's alarming people. He's frightening people. All right. Then what I do is I complete my predicate. So everything after that verb is the predicate. The spooky ghost scared everyone. Then the next thing I do is I go, okay, I need to probably add those adjectives if I can. So there's ghost. And then everyone is probably, I'm going to just underline that because I'm like, could I add a word before that? I'm not sure about that one. But the ghost, absolutely. I did the spooky ghost, describing the ghost. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for my capital letter. I'm going to look for my punctuation mark, which is not a period. So when I read this sentence, I have to read it with a lot of emphasis, a lot of excitement, and like that. So I go, the spooky ghost scared everyone, because I want people to know that this was horrible, that he scared everybody in the room. So that's an exclamation point. Now, if I'd put a period there, I would have just said, the spooky ghost scared everyone. But this one, you go, the spooky ghost scared everyone. All right. You put a lot of with it. All right. Now I have one more thing that I have to do is I have to read it to somebody. So I look at mom, dad, brothers, sisters, the dog, and I say, well, not the dog, because the dog can't give me feedback. He can't tell me whether or not I'm okay or not. The spooky ghost scared everyone. I have a very clear subject. the spooky ghost of a very clear predicate scared everyone. And the only thing that I could have done to maybe make this sentence better is I could have said the spooky ghost scared everyone at the haunted house. Ooh. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's writing. So remember, you want on the front of your paper, you want to put the date. You want to go from margin to margin, and you want to really look at those pictures and get a clear subject, a clear verb and action. Maybe put a couple of adjectives in before your nouns if they fit and they make sense and they're not like change it where the sentence doesn't make any sense. Check your capital letter, check your punctuation, read it to somebody, and you're done. Thanks for listening to me today.